Welcome to No Contingencies, a real estate podcast with no filters, no BS, and no safety nets. We are now on the air. I'm Liz Ryan.
Hey, and I'm Parker Pemberton.
Oh, I'm Nick Wolpole. Thank you.
I love it. And today our guest is someone who embodies what's possible when you pair discipline and consistency with genuine care for people. In just her first year in real estate, she closed 28 homes, followed by an incredible 41 homes in her second year, results that speak not only to her work ethic, but to the incredible client relationships she's built into her business. Beyond her personal production, she's deeply committed to the growth of others. She places a high priority on helping other agents find their professional home. After only 9 months with Pemberton RE, she has brought a great collection of agents to the company, and currently has 6 fantastic agents in her revenue share line, which is awesome. Please help me welcome Faith Miller.
Thank you for having me here.
We're so glad to have you here. Okay, on today's show, which is episode 6 of our podcast, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a deeper dive on some real estate topics with Parker. We're going to get to know Faith, and then we're going to pepper Parker with some rapid-fire icebreaker questions, which will be excellent and exciting.
Great.
That's his favorite thing.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to rehash a few of the things from yesterday's company meeting. I'll mostly ask Parker, but if you have thoughts, feel free to jump in. And then after a few minutes of that, then we'll switch over to some specific Faith questions. Okay? Parker, at yesterday's company meeting, you told us a story about a football coach. Can you tell that story just briefly again right now?
Yeah, I mean, to start, it was the first meeting of the year. And so I want to set the tone for the year. That was the goal. We're not turning a page into 2026 without having something to focus on.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's a lot of things we could talk about, but at the end of the day, mindset and how you operate your business is so key to success in real estate. And by the way, we're sitting with an absolute monster here, Faith. She incorporates a lot of the things that we talk about. Not a lot of people that you can say in the whole country that in the first 24 months have sold over, 65 homes. So
yeah,
truly
that's pretty wild. 70.
A very
almost
polite
70
monster, but anyway, we'll get into that. My so my theme for yesterday was there's something pretty phenomenal happening right now in college football. Indiana Hoosiers were and have been notoriously the most losing franchise, or they would be a franchise if it was pro, but organization in college football ever. And I think they had a winning percentage of .412. And in 2 years after hiring their new coach, Curt Cignetti, have become a 14-0 powerhouse. They just beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl 38-3. And
this is the extent of my football knowledge. You ready? Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, yeah.
That's all I know. That's it.
And a lot of people in Mississippi would hate you for that.
I know, it's okay.
And Georgia too, and probably Ohio. But there's a lot of parallels in business and in sports and business and life, right? And so Curt coaches to a certain standard, and his theme for his team of players, he has 100 different college kids here. You're talking about anywhere from 18-year-olds to 26-year-olds now that we're in the NIL era.
Right.
But he says, look, you have a job to play on the field, and you have a role, and you have to uphold that level of standard every single time you hit the field. And what that means is that you might be a running back, or you might be a place kicker, you might be a punter, you might be a quarterback. Everybody has a different role, essentially a different goal, every single play. And so you have 20-some people or 22 people who each have different goals in the same game. Same thing as a real estate office. You have 50 different people with 50 different goals. But the goal is if you can get everybody to execute on their plan and to execute on what they want to do, what their goal is, then collectively you all reach your goals together.
Right.
So that was a little bit about what we talked about yesterday. And his line or his quote is, play to the standard, not the circumstances.
Right. What does that mean?
Well, there are some circumstances that do take a precedence to your business.
Sure.
First of all, so I do want to say that, but at the end of the day, those circumstances might represent 1% to 2% of what actually would get in the way of your business. look, it doesn't matter what's happening in the market. Doesn't matter what's happening in the mortgage market. Doesn't matter who's buying who's merging with who's recruiting who, what the sun's doing today, what the weather's doing. The roads are icy. Like, I could go on and on and on about the excuses of why people don't get up and go to work in the morning.
Right.
What really matters is that you have a plan in place that you execute every day, regardless of your situation, unless you're in that 1%, which is
Sure.
death, sickness, cancer,
Catastrophic stuff. Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
But like, hey, I got a tummy ache today. Well, how many people do we know that have a little tummy ache and they just say, you know what, I'm not going to log into my CRM and do the work today. Right. Or, hey, I'm going to actually call the seller and cancel my open house on Saturday because I'm not feeling very good.
Yeah.
Like, the people at the elite level show up and they do the work no matter what. And Fate's an example of that.
Oh, absolutely she is.
But, Fate being a mom, like, I think some of the best real estate agents out there are moms, single moms, in fact.
Well, sure. Yeah.
But if you're a parent, you understand that line of play to the standards, not the circumstances. Because every day our kids don't want to go to school.
That is 100% true.
They wake up and they have something going on, or they want to eat the wrong thing. And look, like, what's the standard we're holding in our household?
Right.
Is it that we get to miss school every time we have something little going on in our life? Or is it like, hey, we're actually going to show up to the things we commit to?
Yeah.
So anyway, this is coming from a guy that probably takes this way too seriously. But I think we can all learn from that message.
No, that's okay. And actually, I would love to talk about how this message specifically resonates for you. So take us back to 10 years ago, Parker, when you're starting out in real estate. What standards back then did you hold yourself to?
Well, even before then, lawn care and golf, like, my lawn care clients did not care if I was sick.
Right.
They cared if their property got serviced that week.
Yeah.
They did not care if I was in a bad mood or if my mom yelled at me or my girlfriend broke up with me. Like,
right.
Which she's still with me to today, so that actually never happened.
That worked out pretty well for you, I think.
It's really a no days off mentality of, like, if you are a business owner, which everyone who's in real estate is a business owner, you work 365 days a year.
Right.
You just have to decide how to spend those hours each day.
Right.
And so in real estate, for me, I knew that if I just got myself to a place where I was going to be more productive, that I would do real estate activities.
And you're not talking about philosophical place. You're saying, like, literally go to the office.
Yeah, I was the guy that was opening up the Coldwell Banker Apple Valley office every day, and truthfully, I was the last person to leave, other than the title team, which now works with us at Flex Title. But if you're waking up and you don't know what to go and do for that day, what are you really going to get done?
Right.
So that's the first thing, is get really clear on what the goal is, and then reverse engineer of what do you have to do from an activity standpoint to hit that goal.
Yeah.
And then simply put that in your calendar and hold yourself to a standard to do those things.
Right.
It's not that complicated.
Well, okay, so back then when you were in the office for 12 hours at a time, what in the world did you do with your time to be productive for that whole span? What were those standard activities that you did?
And I learned this from lawn care as well, but I looked at it like I have 10 hours to work. And really, I had 12 hours to work because I didn't have kids, so I didn't have to,
Right.
Number one is lead generation. Like, you're not a real estate agent unless you actually sell things.
Right.
Like, if you're not selling things, you're just playing real estate. Is that too harsh?
No, it's true.
It's true. You're just playing real estate, like posting on social media and not selling shit. Like, you're not really real estate agent. You're just playing real estate. So lead generation has to come first, because you have to find the people that you can go and help.
Right.
And so for 8 hours, my goal was, how am I going to find people that I can help in real estate? And that was different prospecting methods. It was door knocking. It was scheduling my open houses. It was calling dead ass leads. And like, my dad gave me a list of 300 some Zillow leads. This is 2016.
Yeah.
And he's like, here, these are some old leads that we got in like the last 5 years. Call them. And I was like, okay. So I sit down and I look, and I have phone numbers and I have emails and I have full names. And I'm like, these are human beings that at some point in their life are probably going to transact again.
Yeah.
And so let me see if I can have one conversation with each of these people and assess where they're at. Maybe they just bought yesterday. Maybe they're looking to buy in 5 years. Maybe their kid's graduating high school in 2 years and they're going to look to, downsize or upsize. I want to find out those details so that then I can plug that into my CRM and create alerts around those activities and stay in touch with them and provide value.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Absolutely, it does. I mean, it's that's a few years ago now, but clearly you had to have some activities and some sort of consistent plan that you followed to get to the points where you were. So
Well, and from that list, we ended up selling I want to say in the first 12 months, I think 12 homes.
Yeah.
So in terms of GCI, it was 100 to 150,000 at GCI, and I was coming from making $38,000 a year on my W-2 in 2015 from Go-To Guys.
right.
So
that was
I looked at it and I'm
significant.
like, so you're telling me I can call this list of people and make more money than I made in an entire annual year? Well, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But I don't think people come into real estate understanding that. I think you come from a place where you understand that for sure, but they come in and I don't think the clarity is there right off the bat. So that's why I say always get clear on what you want to do first and what does that look like to get there.
No, that makes sense. Okay, last question on this before we jump into talking to Fate. What's more important, standards around quantity of activities or how you do those activities?
It's definitely around how you do those activities. I would rather have you focus entirely on one source and just become the absolute best at that one source.
Yeah.
An agent who's not with our company, but somebody that I still respect and talk about often is Sarah Church, who she came into the company doing, I think, $4 million a year. She left doing 14.5.
Yeah.
And her one thing was open houses.
Right.
And she spent her whole week preparing for those open houses. And then the weekends she conducted the open houses. And Mondays and Tuesdays she followed up from the open houses. She wasn't trying to play, expired, canceled pro. She wasn't being the online lead expert. She wasn't door knocking. She was doing open houses and that was it.
Yeah.
And I know in life in general, if you focus on one thing and you become the best at it, you're going to see great results.
Right.
And by the way, that could be company leads, internet leads, because those leads end up turning into referral partners, which I'm sure Fate will talk about at some point too.
Yeah, 100%. All right, thank you. Fate, I'm coming to you. Well, first of all, are those numbers right? 28 homes in your first year, 41 this year? About something like that.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, tell us what you were doing.
It doesn't count the 14 off market,
Right.
hidden MLS or the ones that the
Yeah,
previous
yeah.
broker kept.
I
but-
don't know. When I log into my MLS, it's showing as well. There's 2 are still on the market right now, but on the MLS numbers, it's showing as 80.
Oh my
So
goodness.
maybe, and some were probably taken off at some point. too.
Right. Fair. Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, of course.
So we just talked all about like getting clear on your goals and like looking at the daily activities of what it takes. What motivates you to go and do that sort of volume? Like, it's not normal to want to sell 80 homes, right?
Well, I moved here from the Philippines. Like, I literally started from scratch. I knew nobody. When I joined, the very first thing I heard was work on your sphere. And I'm like, what is that? I literally had to Google it. Like, what do they mean when they say work your sphere? What is a sphere? What do they mean? And I was like, wow, I don't have a sphere. I don't know people here. I only know my husband, my mom, and my sister. That's 3 people, maximum of 5.
Right.
So I brought my 2 kids here with me. And so my kids motivate me. I want to make sure that bringing them here, I'm able to provide a comfortable life for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tell us what were you doing before real estate?
I've always done real estate on the side, but not full time. Just
Okay.
a little bit on the side. I was 8 years old when my dad developed his first subdivision. So he would buy a huge land and then he would subdivide it into
Really?
parcel of lots. And then he would sell those, and some of the lots he would build a house. So whatever he's selling, I remember being 13 years old and I love driving motorcycles. So he bought me a motorcycle and I would end up, I didn't have a license. Nothing.
How old were you?
13. So I was only at first allowed to like drive the motorcycle just within the subdivision for fun. That's it. But I started sneaking out at night, daytime, driving it around town. And so he was like, you know what? You instead of you sneaking out to like go drive your motorcycle, how about he'll give me leads, whatever leads he'll get from his office, he'll hand it to me. So he then started handing me a name like written on paper. At that time I was 13, so many years ago. I'm now 41. He would hand me in a paper like a name, a phone number, and an address, like, hey, they called the office, they were asking about it. So I would go to that person's house and I would explain the process, what it's like, because my parents taught me like what the process is gonna be like. I didn't have a license. I ended up selling, and then I would be showing, like I would come back to the house and say like, hey pa, actually they want to see the house tomorrow, or they want to see the land tomorrow. And I would end up showing up the next day and showing them the property. But that's on the side, and I've been doing it just on the side for many years. And then 5 years prior to me moving to the US, I was running my own food catering service business.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
In the Philippines.
In the Philippines, yeah.
Did you know that Fate was a legacy real estate? Like, she's been doing it.
I mean, it
since
sounds
she
like
was
we got
younger
started the same way.
You did.
Dad handed her some old leads and was like, go convert these. She was just much younger. I think I was playing hockey or Xbox or something.
Yeah, that is so incredible, Fate, and it speaks so much to why you have so much success connecting with clients. You've been doing this for 30 years at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the process is totally different, and I don't know. I just see it like in real estate. People see it as like, oh, you sell homes.
Right.
Like, it's not just that. It's more of like a people business, like how you can get them to trust you.
Yeah.
And, for them to believe that you are actually going to do everything for them on their behalf.
And how were you able to get people to trust you at such a young age?
Well, because they knew that my parents owned the subdivision, right? So
Yeah.
I would go in there, and then I explained everything. I also learned. So I just didn't go there not knowing what the true process would be.
Yeah.
So my parents taught me that this is how, or the process, what it's going to look like. So at 13 years old, 14, 15, I was making commissions, and I didn't need a license because I was not doing any real estate outside of what my dad was selling anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. And that actually switched. When I turned 25, we changed that. My dad said, you know what, stop selling and making commission from me. How about if I would actually buy a parcel of land from him? So now I'm his buyer.
Okay.
And then he would sell it to me without a profit, just to break even. And then I would need to find my own buyer. So now I'm an investor. So then from 25, I started that. And because I have two brothers, one is an architect and one is an engineer. So then I would buy the land, I would finance the construction, and then my architect brother would design the house, and then my engineer brother would then look after the construction itself. So then the client relationship and the financing and the buying part was on my side, and the actual work on the construction site was on them. So we did that for a few years too.
Okay.
You know what's crazy is that you come here to America and you don't have a sphere. You said you knew like
No.
4 people.
No.
Yet how many people I see that grew up here in the community, went to high school here, that are afraid to call their sphere? What do you think the difference is in that mindset versus the mindset you had?
I guess you need to have the mindset of really wanting to make it,
Right.
Because I remember first, so I knew I have no sphere. So first, I remember it was third month of me joining real estate, and I posted on my personal Facebook page. And I said, I didn't even say that I'm a realtor. I just said, hey, I'm Faith. I'm from the Philippines. I just moved here. Does anyone want to be friends with me? That's my exact post.
I
And
love it.
my family said to me, "Hey, that's dangerous. Like, you're in a new country, in a new city, you don't have friends, you don't have people, and you're actually asking people to be friends with you." I said, "I need to know people. I don't know people here. I need that." And honestly, I got lots and lots of messages, and I was even invited to a lot of parties. Like,
Yeah.
"Hey, it's my daughter's birthday. Hey, we're having this. Like, hey, we'd love to get to know you." So from that post, my neighbors, I got to meet them. They reached out to me. Like, it's amazing how people would actually want to get to know you.
Yeah.
So that's how everything started. I went to random parties. I've brought my husband a few times, but half of the time he would say, "Oh, I'm not going there. It's too embarrassing." Like, I would bring him, and he's like, "You don't know anyone here?" I said, "No, I don't." But then I would walk into the room and like, "Hey, how are you? You messaged me on Facebook, you know?"
Yeah.
So, and then those people that I met, I would never even say like, "Hey, I'm a realtor." No, I just make friends with them, and then eventually it will come up. They will ask you what you do.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, so I mean, if you look at this in comparison to the activities that we ask people to do, right? I mean, we're just saying here, be a successful realtor by calling this list of people who've already raised their hands. And you're starting like 6 steps before that. And you're saying, listen, I just want to make connections. I'm not even going to push real estate. I mean, I think that, does that come naturally to you, that social part of that? Or does that make you a little uncomfortable? Like, I think Parker and
I mean, my social anxiety is off the charts right now.
just hearing the story. Me too, 100%, Fate. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my
what a
God.
skill though. And number one, just to be fearless like that, but to be able to go into a room with unknown people and make friends. Like, that's a huge skill set in life.
But are you fearless, or does that make you a little uncomfortable in those situations?
I'm being careful, but I'm not afraid of it. A lot of people warn me like, "Hey, what you're doing is so dangerous." But
Yeah.
no, I
Well,
actually enjoyed it.
And I don't even mean from like the safety concern, but I just mean the discomfort of getting to know new
No.
people. You're good with that.
Those very first people that invited me, I'm still friends with them until now.
Okay.
And those people that I met in those different events or parties, like, I can't even count anymore how many homes I've been to just by being invited. Like, "Hey, let's hang around at my house. Hey, let's play poker." Anything.
I like picturing Fate playing poker. It's great.
It's a contact business, right? And the more contacts you have, the more conversations you have, the more chances you have at getting into that first business relationship. And without it, you have no chance.
Yeah.
And what we say what I say a lot is that all you need 20 really solid people that know, like, trust, and love you. Like, those 20 people, if they all referred you 3 people a year, it's do the math. 100 and what did I say? 20 people.
20
3,
people.
it's so 60.
60.
If they referred you 4 people, it's 80. If they referred you 5 people, it's 100. And so just think about that, of how can you get to 20 people? Because I'm sure you're past that now, but you don't have to go out there and make thousands of friends.
Right? How do you keep all those people organized? Do you use a CRM? Do you just remember people? Do you use social media?
I actually use social media more. So in my messenger, that's where I'm mostly in communication with my leads, potential clients, friends, referrals. Yeah. So social media is a big thing for me, and I use Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good testament to whatever system works for you is the system you should use. Like, not everybody has to use the same platform, but as long as you're diligent and consistent, obviously it can be really successful.
Let me get clarity on one thing, though. Did you say you started, so when you came here to America, you posted that, "Will you be friends with me" post?
Yeah. 3 months I was into real estate, and I was like, I needed to know people because I don't know anyone here. And so, like, people in the real estate business too. So I was not afraid of actually approaching people. Like if I see like, oh, it looks like he's a team leader of something,
Yeah.
I would introduce myself and, because I like to learn from people who are already successful.
Well, now that's the key to life right there. At least the key to getting to your goals quicker. Is it fair to say, though, that you built that online group, that online network from that point that you came over here? You started to focus on how can I add people into this group? Yes, you add them as your friends. So Fate was essentially building her network. She's putting all of her people in one spot, which is Facebook. And then you communicated and worked the system through that. And one of the things I always say to agents that grew up here, have a large sphere, half of your people that you probably have on Facebook, for example, are like lenders or old friends from high school or people you haven't talked to in 20 years. And you need to look at that like it's a network that you constantly need to clean up. You need to get rid of the people that you're probably never going to see again.
Right.
And you need to fill it with people that you're going to see all the time.
Yeah.
So you have a real database that you can work. And social media is it's a gift. It's also kind of like a curse too, but the gift of it is that it puts everybody in one spot. And every time you post something, those people can see what you're doing. Because before that, we had to call everybody. Or like we had to put out a newspaper ad or
Ride our motorcycle to their house and talk to
Yeah.
them.
yeah. By the way, did you ever get injured on that motorcycle?
So before I moved here, I had 3 motorcycles. One was like a mix off-road and a mix road. It was like a mini bike. And then I had a Vespa too. And I had a motocross bike. So I was doing different stuff. And I had to sell it when I left.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was injured at some point.
Okay, I have
Anyway.
follow-up. Do you ride a motorcycle? Do you have a motorcycle here?
No,
Really?
that's
Okay.
one of the things I've never done since I moved back here.
Okay, and you have an older daughter who is of driving age, right?
Yep, she's now 20.
Does she ride motorcycles?
No.
Really?
I don't let her.
Well,
That is so fair.
Yeah, I tell her, follow what I say, don't follow what I do.
I love it.
That's great.
I ordered scooters the other day. I told you about that, right?
Yes.
They hit a 25 mile per hour max.
Oh.
I did it so that Ed could scooter home in the summer. Ed lives right up the road.
Right.
But I got 4 of them that are arriving tomorrow. What?
Oh.
Yeah, they're not quite motorcycles or Vespas or whatever. But my thought was we can go back and forth to the offices without getting in our cars and driving.
Oh, wow. That's
So
fun.
yeah, the community might see a very large person on a scooter, and I probably will crash. The last time I was on one, I rented one in Nashville. It was a bachelor party, so there was some extracurriculars involved. But I took literally I ate dirt in the middle of the road. That's why I asked you. I'm on the scooter and I hit this bump and I just go right over the top of it in the middle of the road. Everyone saw me. It was so embarrassing. So I'll take it slow, but.
Yeah, just make sure you wear a helmet.
There you go. Safety tips from
Yeah.
Fate.
Yeah.
Listen to that
Just
one.
a helmet. So when you fall, like I had a really bad fall, and when I fell, the first thing on my mind was like I was down on the ground. I was like, okay, my head is intact, so I should be fine.
That is
a good thought.
fantastic. All right, let's switch gears back to real estate. Tell me, like, day to day, what are your routines? What are your activities that you do every day?
Every day, my son goes to school, so I would take him to school. I would pick him up. So basically, I cannot absolutely start showing houses before 9 a.m.
Okay.
And then at 5:30, I would cut it because I would have to pick him up from school. My daughter is in college. She lives in Iowa, so she has her own apartment, so she's there most of the time. But I follow up with my clients, make sure I would send them a message on special occasions. I would always like, hey, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, or I would not even message them for anything about real estate because I already got to know them. I would just ask like, hey, what happened to your son's whatever? Hey, did you do this? Or if I have clients that I know they like shoes too. So sometimes I would send a screenshot like, hey, look at this. Do you like this? This is the website, or this is on sale right now, things like that. And then show houses, go to work, and then I make sure that I rest too, and I pamper myself. So
Yeah.
I just feel that it's essential because I work, so I need to be in good shape
Right.
and in a good state of mind.
Well, and you work at a pretty
Yeah.
fast pace too. So I think taking time to rest is really smart.
You have to. I heard starts with family, ends with family,
Well,
and
that's
then
true.
fills the in between with
Yep.
work, right?
Yep.
Which I love. I love that you hold yourself to that standard, because really it makes you perform the tasks that you need to perform in the time that you are given.
Yeah.
What is that, by the way? Is that Pareto's?
I don't know. I can't remember, but I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Pareto's principle. It might be Parkinson's law. I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes you say those, and I think you probably made them up. But the
No,
concept I agree
work
with.
will fill the time allotted that you give yourself, right?
Absolutely.
If you're like, hey, I'm going to clean my house on Saturday, and you give yourself all day, what are you going to do? You're going to probably screw around for a while, and then
yeah, till like
4
6.
o'clock comes, and then you're
yeah.
like, oh, shit, I
That
better.
one is Parkinson's law.
Okay.
Work expands to fill the time available for its completion.
Yeah.
Thank
I think about that all the time.
That's my producer job, you know.
Well, and essentially, it's a time blocking, principle. And,
It is.
And so Fate's saying, I'm going to get all this done here. The other thing that wasn't said was she is in charge of the transaction and her client. So if they want to see homes at 8 o'clock at night, the answer is no. It's, hey, these are the hours that I work, and we're going to have to find a way to make that work, which I absolutely love that. I want to go a little deeper on one thing, though. You kind of just glanced over this whole like lead generation thing. You're obviously doing a lot, right? People are probably wondering, how do you sell 80 homes? How do you sell 45 homes in your first year? Or no, it was 80 in your first 24 months. Okay, so 40 a year. Out of nowhere, from the Philippines, no sphere. Tell us that progression. I know it, but I want to go a little bit deeper there.
So when I first started in my first year, I worked with Zillow leads.
Okay.
And those Zillow leads that I worked with in my first few months in real estate actually referred me to family, their friends, because they were happy. And then, so while I was first starting with the Zillow leads, I was also working with my personal people, the people who invited me to those parties that I met, the strangers that I met by myself. And they also referred me to people. And those clients that I've worked with, so most of my clients are actually based on referrals from my past clients.
And nowadays, right? So you took basically a business model that would take most people 10 years to accomplish, and you did it in 2. If you think about it, have you ever thought about it that way?
No. I was just doing it like I would take it one day at a time and just basically show up. Like half of the time, especially me being new here, I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
I totally would just rely on Siri to take me to this address when I pick up a showing.
Yeah.
And I would go there. There was a day that I took 3 showings in one day. St. Cloud, Mora, and then all the way to Lakeville. I didn't get home until 7 p.m. But and there was also another time that, because when I started, the leads that I were getting were like at 200K to 250K homes. They were at that range.
Yep.
And there was one time that a Zillow lead came, and I looked at it, and it was, wow, 570,000 house in Brainerd. I don't know where Brainerd is. What I only saw was it's 570,000. And at that time, I was in Roseville.
Oh boy.
I picked it up, and then, I have a 570K house I'm showing this afternoon. Not even sure if they're going to buy. I'm going there. And I looked in my maps. It's 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
But I still showed up.
Did you?
I went there, and show them the property. And I had a nice drive. I prepared my playlist and they bought the house. So I was
Really?
like, see, this is what I mean. Like, doesn't matter how far it is, like, just give it a try, just show up and, even with no guarantees. So,
But the thing
that's
that
amazing.
that sticks out to me is that you're looking at each one of these opportunities as a lifetime opportunity for a relationship. You didn't have relationships before you came here, so you get that one internet lead that reaches out and you have contact with them. Well, now your whole goal is to become friends and
Yeah.
provide a great service, obviously knock it out of the park, but be that person's real estate agent for life.
yes.
Right? And you
Yes.
cherished each of those opportunities. I'm guessing you probably didn't look at, well, you just said it, but location, what the commission check looks like, the price point, how you're feeling. You're like, look, I get an opportunity here.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be internet leads. Internet leads are just the quickest way to get in a relationship with people, because it can be instant online, right?
Yeah.
But if, let's just say for comparisons, Fate was taking 10 of those leads a week, you could hold 3 open houses, correct me if I'm wrong, and meet 10 new people as well, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So each agent met the same number of people, they just got there a different way. But the common theme there needs to be, when you meet that person, how are you taking that relationship to the next step? Because if Fate's not impressive when she meets with that person in Brainerd, they're not buying that house.
Yeah.
They're saying, hey, thanks, Fate. Like, appreciate you being on the ball, but like, we're going to go call Jim, our cousin's brothers, But instead, you showed up and you were impressive, and they said, hey, like, she's our real estate agent. And then what happens from there, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite clients, who I talk about often, is Bud Paramore. He bought an $80,000 condo in Prior Lake, and he didn't have a car. He started in Edina, and we ended up in Prior Lake. So I was driving Bud around. I'd go pick him up, drive him around, and we formed a relationship through that. And he ended up buying this condo. He's referred me a bunch of people. We're Facebook friends. Bud's like 92 years old.
Yeah, he's getting up there now.
But I'm like, I think about him often because a lot of agents would just scoff at $80,000. I didn't really care what the price was.
Yeah.
And I think that's something you and I share is we're playing the long game. We're not playing the short game.
Yeah.
And when you play the long game, you play the relationship business building game. You don't play the transactional paycheck game.
Yes.
I love it. Fate, your story is so interesting. We're going to close up because we're going to have our staff all walking in here in the next 20 minutes or so, and then it will get very loud. We have our monthly all staff meeting today. But before we finish, let me ask you, what's your best advice for agents out there?
I'd say just be genuinely you.
Yeah.
And invest in yourself too. Because, if all falls away, you still have you. And friends could use a different realtor. Family may not even support you the way you would hope they would. And clients could replace us easily. But like our determination to succeed and make it in this business is something no one can take away from us. So no matter how many times, basically what I'm saying is no matter how many times you'll fail, and sometimes we'll doubt ourselves and we want to give up, just don't give up, just keep going and then show up, because eventually you'll get there.
That's great. That's great advice for everybody.
Yeah. I hope that the marketplace is able to get to know you more over the next couple of years. I'll do my part in helping that, because I think you're a true inspiration to, you will be to a lot. You are, but you will be to a lot of people. And I'm most impressed with just the fact that you came over here without any help, and you just got to work.
Yeah.
True
rock
I love that. And you're not big in stature. You're actually very small, but you have a huge heart, and there's something driving you behind there, right? And you should be really proud of yourself.
Yeah.
I've got a Fate anecdote actually.
Oh, I love it. Tell us.
I once asked Blake, our director of growth, who lives in the office over there, I said, Blake, if you could recruit any agent over and over again, you've just got to pick one person to bring into your organization over and over again, who would it be? And he goes, oh, it's fate, easily. Because
you.
her ethic is, her work ethic and the way she looks at stuff is just unmatched. So there you go. That's my fate anecdote.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Okay, stay here with us and help me quiz Parker. You can jump in with questions if you have
Okay.
them as well. Okay, at yesterday's company meeting, we recognized a number of our agents that were nominated for the Real Producers Realtor Choice Awards, including Parker, who was nominated in the category of Leader of the Year. So if we're going to ask people to vote for Parker, I think it's only fair that he have to answer some questions that are totally unrelated to real estate. You ready, Parker?
This is what you get when you don't wear headphones.
I know this is what you get when you don't read the outline before the show, which is absolutely my goal for him every time. Don't read it, so you just have to do whatever I come up with.
Yeah.
Ready? Okay.
And that was tough yesterday to hear you talk about that.
I know.
I don't like the self-promotion.
I know you don't.
I don't like the the awards.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Something deep down, right?
Well, yeah, I think yes, that's totally fair. I think all of us struggle a little bit with that because you feel a little bit of imposter syndrome or something. But fear not, you are nominated for lots of good, legitimate reasons that have nothing to do with the questions I'm about to ask you. Parker, what is your coffee order?
It has always been a venti dark roast.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
3 Splenda,
3 Splenda.
which people rip on me for. But now that I'm almost 40, I have to control the caffeine fate.
Have you
So-
started to get the acid reflux?
No.
I hit 41 in November, and I had to stop drinking coffee because I was getting such bad acid reflux that it was killing me. Are you swerving that so far?
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, I've downgraded it to a grande, and I don't drink it, I don't smoke it, I don't do all those things, and so caffeine's like the one thing. But you add stress and anxiety with maximum caffeine, and it's probably not great for you. So
Yeah, no, probably not. Okay, what is one thing that you always keep on your desk?
Post-it notes.
Post-it notes. Yeah.
I'm a post-it note guy.
Yes, you are.
It's the Parker system, right?
Yeah, that's funny because in my head I thought you were going to answer with something to fidget with.
Yeah, I have those too, but sometimes they travel in the car with me, or
Yeah.
they go home, or my kids steal them.
I have noticed that. What's a hidden skill you have that most people don't know about?
I can dunk.
I think we know that.
Oh, okay.
I so wish we had our little video of you dunking because we have a video, right? I swear.
Yeah,
you
and
should.
I mean, we
I
should
can
film
put
it
that in
again.
a
I was
reel.
like 20 pounds heavier then, so
Nick's gonna find it.
maybe
for
I'll
us.
throw in like some tricks next time.
Oh,
so
windmill.
Time is working against me here.
It
I
is a
turned
little
40 in
bit.
March.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's great though. That's a great answer.
no, I would say what's one hidden skill? Yeah.
I think
move
that
on.
no, I liked it. If you could go anywhere on a vacation, and I know you're going to say, "Oh, I don't really take vacations." That's not the question. If we forced you, if the office was closed because there was asbestos for 2 weeks and you had to go somewhere else and you could not do any work at all, where would you want to go in the world?
2 weeks isn't like enough. Like if let's
All
just
right,
say I
take
went
a
to like
month.
the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
I'd want to go for at least a month.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, a month at
Like
least.
Kathy's Korean. If we went to South Korea, I'd want to go for a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now we've got 3 crazy little boys,
Right.
and that's a long time. I don't know. I've actually been really fortunate in my life to go to some cool places from my family, and then also from my golf career.
Mm.
I don't know.
I like South. I mean, it'd be cool if you guys could go to South Korea. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. I would need Delta One for sure. I would need a lot of things.
International
to fly
flights
that.
with children. Yeah.
Yeah, because my rules nowadays is the flight has to be under 3.5 hours, and yeah, I have certain
12
requirements.
hours.
12. Yeah.
It's
there you
that's
go.
a long time on an airplane flying across the ocean.
That's the flight I always take.
Really?
MSP to South Korea.
Okay.
And then South Korea straight to my city in the Philippines.
Well, there you go.
So it's 12 hours.
that tells
Okay,
you
but you
exactly.
actually fit on an airplane.
But you'll fit in Delta 1.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. Yep. I've flown it a couple times to Orlando, like of all places, and the pod is not long enough for me.
Oh, yeah.
So like I have to put my knees up. It's kind of like a bathtub. I've yet to find a bathtub that's like actually long enough to put my legs out in.
I feel like this is one of those things where I'm trying to get you to say the word femur.
Yeah.
Like the thing where you have a bet with somebody that you can get somebody to say a word on a live show.
Yeah.
We're going to start doing that, Nick. That's going to be our secret bet.
They're 3 feet long. Yeah.
Yeah,
femurs.
there you go. Okay, switching gears. What's your favorite game to play with your kids?
Right now we're really into Guess Who.
Ooh, I love Guess Who.
Yeah.
Wait, who's your favorite character in Guess Who? This is a loaded question.
Yeah, I know. There is literally a Liz character. Which Nick, find the graphic for that because it's hilarious. Down to the hair color and the glasses.
And
and they spell Liz the same way.
That's so wonderful. I love that game. What was your favorite cartoon when you were a kid?
I didn't watch cartoons.
Are you serious?
No.
Not at all?
I was a Nickelodeon kid.
Nickelodeon's got cartoons.
Oh.
I mean, they got some classics.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the 90s. 86, by the way. You were 85?
I'm 84.
84.
I'm 84 as well.
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
one.
man. Well, I'm 78, and my favorite cartoon was The Jetsons. And I'm sorry that you didn't have that in your life. If you could, okay, last one, and then we'll move on. If you could have any superpower, flying, invisibility, anything, what superpower would you want?
Well, my kids are 6, 3, and 1, and they're all boys, so we're big into Marvel and superheroes.
Yeah.
I love the Hulk.
Yeah.
Hulk can do just about anything. I've yet to see him die, so
Could smash anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hulkbuster can get him, but
Liz,
But that's very rare. Yes.
I've got to ask you what yours is because
What superpower?
Yeah, I want to know what everyone's is.
I would want to be able to fly. I just think that'd be so cool.
Fly. Okay.
And I
Faye,
could-
you.
Fate, what's yours?
I want to be T-Rex because my son loves T-Rex.
So the ability to turn into a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That's
Love it.
great. Did you tell us yours?
I think I would like to be able to know without question whether people are telling me the truth 100% of the time, infallibly. Just super useful in life, you know?
Interesting. I'm going to try to start like tricking you and see if I can
Well,
get one over on you.
You can. I'm like, I know this, why I want to be able to tell.
Oh, man.
I want to believe everyone's telling me the truth at baseline, which is bad.
That's pretty fantastic. All right. Well, I think that's a great note to conclude on. That is it for today's episode of No Contingencies. If you got value from this conversation, take a second to share it with another agent who's serious about growing in this market. If you're looking for a brokerage that's forward-thinking, accountability-driven, and built for the next chapter of real estate, we should talk. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and make something happen.
thank you, Fate.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Fate.